Today's story: the Emperor's Curse and the Language of Silence. Stay with us. The year is 1612. And the golden city of Prague is shivering under a frost that feels less like winter and more like a funeral shroud. Inside the towering stone walls of Hradiany Castle, Emperor Rudolf II, the most powerful man in the Holy Roman Empire, is not looking at maps of his territories or signing decrees for his armies. Instead, he is hunched over a desk cluttered with human skulls, dried mandrake roots, and astrolabes that track stars no one else can see. His eyes, bloodshot and frantic, are fixed on a single object. A book bound in limp vellum, its pages filled with a script that looks like a dance of elegant insects. This is the moment the world began to break. Rudolf had spent 600 gold ducats on this manuscript, a sum that could have fed a city for a year, believing it held the key to the Philosopher's Stone and the secrets of immortality. But as he traced the ink with a trembling finger, he realized a terrifying truth. The book wasn't just written in a secret code, it was written in a language of silence. It was a tongue that existed before the Tower of Babel, or perhaps, a language that was never meant for human ears at all. As the shadows of the 30 Years' War lengthened across Europe, the emperor's mind began to fracture, convinced that the book was whispering back to him in the dead of night. The scent of sulfur and old parchment hung heavy in the air of the emperor's private chambers, while the bells of St. Vitus Cathedral tolled in the distance. To his advisors, he was a king losing his grip on reality, but to the alchemists he invited to his court, he was the ultimate patron of the forbidden. They whispered that the manuscript had been found in the ruins of an ancient monastery, hidden beneath a floorboard etched with protective runes. Some said it was the work of Roger Bacon, the 13th century friar who was rumored to have built a talking brass head and glimpsed the future. But as Rudolf turned the pages, he saw things that even Bacon couldn't have imagined. There were drawings of plants with translucent roots that seemed to pulse like veins, and circular diagrams of the heavens that didn't match the known stars. The language of silence within these pages followed its own internal logic, a statistical rhythm that mimicked natural human speech but lacked the patterns of any known cipher. As the emperor's health failed, the curse began to manifest, and his brother Matthias moved to strip him of his titles, sensing a sovereign lost in paper ghosts. Rudolf became convinced that the manuscript was a living entity, a symbiotic parasite that fed on the curiosity of its owner. He locked himself away, refusing to see his generals, while the script seemed to shift and change whenever he blinked his tired eyes. When Rudolf finally died in January 1612, the book didn't stay with his crown, it began its long, silent journey through the darkest shadows of history. It was passed to Jacobus de Tepenec, the royal physician, who tried to clean the pages with secret solvents, only to find his own name appearing in the margins. Then it vanished into the libraries of the Jesuits, buried under layers of dust and theological dogma for 250 years. In 1912, the silence was finally broken by Wilfrid Voynich, a revolutionary book dealer who found the manuscript in a trunk at the Villa Mondragone. He brought it to America, believing that modern science could do what the ancient alchemists could not. He showed it to the greatest minds at Yale, and during World War II, the world's elite codebreakers treated the book like an enemy transmission. They applied frequency analysis and every trick used to crack the Nazi enigma. But the book remained an impenetrable fortress. Carbon dating performed in the 21st century confirmed the parchment was made between 1404 and 1438, shattering theories of a modern hoax. Today, the Emperor's Curse is not a supernatural spell, but the psychological trap of an unsolvable puzzle that haunts every researcher who touches it. It forces the human mind to seek patterns in chaos, to find meaning in a void that refuses to be filled. Even now, in the climate-controlled vaults of the Voynich Library, the manuscript sits in its glass case, cold and silent. It remains the most famous unsolved mystery in history, a testament to the fact that some secrets are protected by the very limits of our own understanding. Thanks for watching till the end.